What up? What up, though? What's good, family? I know I set this live off a little bit later or earlier or later. I don't know. Life be lifing. I'll give y'all a second to come in here. I know the notifications going out. No countdown today. No countdown today. Y'all have waited long enough. Y'all have waited long enough. Shoot. You know, I wasn't, I had a rough day. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I thought about canceling. I thought about not doing it. It's been a rough day. But I'm here. I realize that I need this outlet, and I need y'all. Woo. Can't let the man, damn, my hair getting long. Can't let the man steal your joy. Can't let the man get you down. Can't let the man steal your joy. And this is my joy. I had a rough day. Rough couple days, actually, with life. Life be lifing. But Matab Lomax, you, Raw Walker, what up, though? Stream Bean Poppy, what up, though? Give people a few minutes just to check in. No countdown today. I know the notification was crazy. I changed the live stream from 7:30 to 7:45 at the last minute. I appreciate y'all bearing with me. Nicole S., what up, though? Aaron Zimmerman, what up, though? Hope my day gets better. It's going to get better, man. I'm here with y'all. Appreciate that. Appreciate them wishes. Appreciate them wishes. I'm still doing that thing I was doing, that challenge. So no alcohol. No alcohol for me. I got a vacation at the end of the month, so I'm trying to get this body right. So it's water and body armor for your boy tonight. Y'all pour up a beer for me. Y'all take a shot for me. I appreciate it. Shout out to my guy Rick in the building. What up, Rick? What's good, brother? So yeah, life be life. Yeah, good, man. It's just work is killing me. It's killing me. Got me stressed out. But I need this outlet. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about some things. Shoot, let me loosen this hat. My hair is getting long. It's making my head hurt on these hats. My hair is getting long. This light, I gotta get my lighting together sooner or later. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. We got a couple more people rolling in. Like I said, I know we didn't start at the allotted time, but I'm just buying a little bit of time for people to check in because I did not do a countdown today. No countdown today. Say, what up, though? Ready for some football for us, City? Yeah, man. Yeah. First things first, real quick, some light news. If you have not and you plan on doing it, go. Matter of fact, time out. First of all, everybody in this video, give it a thumbs up, por favor. Please and thank you. Give it a thumbs up. Eddie Burner, what up, though? J Rock, what up, though? You know, Nicholas Kuechly, I just put two and two together what you were sitting here. You were trying to say, what up, though? What up? I just put two and two together. I literally just put two and two together. That's how cooked my brain is. But if you have not, go get your training camp tickets. They're free. Unless you go into Fan Fest. They're free. Like, go get them. They're only going to be 2,000 tickets for the regular practice. If you plan on going to any of them, go get them. Go get them. I highly recommend you going to get the joint practice first. As soon as the Jets fans, I don't know if they're going to make an allotment available for Jets fans, but as soon as the Jets fans get hip, they are going to swarm. There's only 2,000 tickets. If you went to, I think Rick was there last year. Were you there for the joint, Rick, last year? I think you were. I think that's when we all were there. Yeah, it was. Ricky will tell you. That joint practice with the Jets, it was swamp. It was way more than 2,000 people at Wofford sitting on grass in a hill. I'm assuming they're going to be rollaway bleachers for Charlotte. I'm hearing that according to beat reporters, there's only 2,000 tickets. So I highly recommend if you plan on coming to the joint practice, go get your tickets. Go get them now. When I got my tickets for when I'm going to training camp, I started on August 15th and I worked my way backwards. Yeah, that was it. I can't remember if it was that day or if it was a different day that you and Jarek pulled up, Rick. But yeah, it was packed. Ricky will tell you, it was packed. It was packed. So if you don't want to miss out seeing Aaron Rodgers, seeing Sauce Gardner, Quentin Williams, the ball-headed head coach, all of them. Hard Knocks won't be there this year, so the field might not be as crowded, but I have a feeling that the stands will be crowded. Please go get those tickets first. I want to have more Panthers fans there, more than them green guys spelling their four-letter word. I don't want them there making them chants. They were doing it last year. I want to get more Panthers fans there this year. So let's go ahead and get them tickets. If you're going to go, get them tickets. Let's get some Panthers fans out there, man. Hope is at an all-time high. We're 0-0. I know some of y'all may not be as excited about it, but going out there seeing them in person is a good way to build up some excitement. So I highly, highly encourage you to attend training camp. I will be there. So if you want to see me there on looking at it, I got my tickets. I started there first. I just want to put that out there. But do that. Yeah. So, yeah, no joke is wild. They're coming like that at Wofford. Charlotte's going to be exactly way bigger city, easier location to get to. It's going to be crazy. I'm expecting it to be crazy. 2 Girls, 1 World. What up, though? Shout out to my guy. We will be collabing. Tomorrow we recording it. I'm not going to put no dates out of where he's going to put it out because I don't want to put his feet to the fire. But we got a good show. I'm already calling it a good show. We're going to have a good show tomorrow recording. He's going to put it out this week, so stay tuned for the collab incoming. Stay tuned. Earl Locklear, what up, though? What's good, brother? Tyree in the building. What up, though? So Yanel said, let's get it. Stefan, what up, though? Michael Rayner, what up, though? Hey, appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm good. It's just work stress, man. Work stress, man. So you're gonna be pounding this year. Yes, sir. So you're gonna try to come. Hey, man, you gotta meet me there, Tyree. You know what I'm saying? We had linked up at training camp 2 years ago. I think you came. Did you come to one? You might have came to one last year. I can't remember. I know we linked up at multiple year before last. Me, Rashad, and everybody else. I want to see you out there, brother. Want to see you out there. But make sure you go get them tickets if you are going to attend. I would love to have a great crowd cheering and being obnoxious because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be obnoxious. It's going to be the last day of training camp too. I'm going to be obnoxious, loud and obnoxious, cheering on the Panthers, rubbing it in. If we make any plays, I'm rubbing it into the Jets fans' face. I'm just going to do it. So I'm going to need some support from y'all for me being crazy out there. Not too crazy. I ain't going to start no drama. But I will be yelling. But make sure you get those tickets if you are going to go. If you're going to attend any practices. I will be going to, not going to be going to all of them. Confession, I will not be going to all of them as usual. I will not be going to all of them like I usually do. But I will be at most of them. I will be at most of them. I will say that. I will not be at all of them like usual, but I will be at most. And the coverage is going to be just like it usually is. So get y'all popcorn ready. Make sure that subscribe button and the bell icon is hit because I get in that mode, man. I get in that mode when it's time for training camp. So getting ready for that. Okay. Couple things to talk about. Of course, some Panthers news, just a few things not going to be on here long. Obviously, we're in the dog days of the offseason. So every little news that comes out, we got to talk about it. Some stuff comes out and talks about it. Demetric Anderton. Let me take a moment real quick. Saying pro lineman here, Demetric Anderton. 2X international undefeated champion for the Chihuahua de Dios. I have a feeling I can help the Panther Nation O-line. GM and agents contact me ASAP. First of all, you got to be a subscriber to comment on this. So you need to add a subscriber to your resume as well. Add a Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk subscriber to your resume as well. I'm just joking. Let me look you up. I'm going to look you up. The Chihuahua de Dios. Were you on that American international team that just got beat by China or Japan? Was that you? Because that's what we need help at. We need help on the international team. Oh, that is a real team. It is a real team. Gotta translate this. Yeah, y'all just won a championship. Congrats. Congrats to y'all on the championship. Congrats to y'all on the championship. But we need help for the for the USA world champion football team. That's what we need to help at. These dudes going out there bringing shame to the country. Yes, yeah, exactly. Let me see. Okay, 59. I see you on the roster, bro. Number 59. I see you on the roster. They ain't got your height and weight, but they got your. I see you, bro. I mean, you ain't know. You said give him a shot. Let me put this screen share real quick. Y'all bear with me for a few seconds. A little bit of a tangent, but that's why we do. That's why it's a live stream. This is bro Instagram. My boy Demetrich. He said that's what happened when they don't want to pay. He ain't no smart. Oh, damn, they gonna make me log in. I ain't logging in Instagram on no browser. But I see you posing with the trophy with the Kobe shot. I will pull up your highlights. It won't let me. I see you been putting in work though, bro. Is that a? It ain't gonna let me open up no pictures. Said 2-time LFA champion, right guard. Shoot. Get you in the camp, man. They should have. You get you an agent. They try to get you in the rookie camp. Get you an agent and try to get you in the rookie camp, man. Get you a tryout. I ain't got no. I don't have any plug in the front office, unfortunately. If I did, we probably have a Super Bowl by now. If I had some say so in the front office, we have a Super Bowl right now. 6'3", 315. I hear you, bro. You got the size, man. Say, hopefully they let me film in peace since they look. I ain't making no promises on film this year for training camp. I'm not making any promises. But salute to you, Dimitri, bro. I miss the grind. I'm glad I'm out, but I miss it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I miss it. But best of luck, man. Keep balling. But first bit of news, man. Makai Smith, what up, though? So Panthers, they made a move to the front office, and they fired VP of Player Personnel, Adrian Wilson, former Cardinal player, former Cardinal exec, was brought to the Panthers in February of 2023. If you do the math, that is a little over a calendar year, probably about a year and a half of employment before being terminated. Now, on the outside looking in, before we got more information, this seemed like a typical Tepper move. This seemed like the typical, I call it a 3 and out. You know, I call it a 3 and out. Just because it's a short drive, like in football, it's a 3 and out. The typical person that gets hired as an exec with Tepper, they get fired very quickly. They continue to get paid, but they're no longer employed. I thought it was one of those instances. Very, very fishy. Because Adrian Wilson came over with the prior regime, was retained with Dan Morgan. I'm not really sure what his role was. I'm assuming it was the same thing. I didn't check the website before he was fired, because you know when they do this stuff, they get rid of these dudes off the website like a thief in the night. They remove these dudes from the website like a thief in the night. So I did not get a chance to check that out. However, VP of Player Personnel was his title. For all we knew, he was still around. How I thought personally, when Frank Wright was fired, I thought they may get rid of Scott, and I thought Adrian was a potential guy for interim general manager. I thought that he was going to be a guy potentially for the general manager position to get interviewed. Obviously, we know the Rooney Rule and stuff like that, him being a minority. Granted, he's within the organization, so you don't get any draft picks, and stuff, but you still have to do those interviews. All that aside, all that doesn't matter anymore. News came out today that he was arrested on 3 counts of domestic violence. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go into the details of everything because, one, there's not a lot of details, except that he was out on bond on June 1st. So he just took some scouring of the internet for people to figure that out because the Panthers did not say that. The Panthers pretty much released a statement, said that Adrian Wilson is not a part of this team anymore. As with any internal move in our front office, we do not discuss the details. So there was really a million things, and I understand for respect to the situation, it makes sense now. But they literally gave us nothing. I mean, they gave us something. They gave us the usual, but they gave us nothing. So they left room to speculate. So I can't blame anybody for speculating. That's just the Teppers and the way they've run this team since they've owned the team. They don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. They have not earned the benefit of the doubt on making these type of moves like this. So when we get limited information, this is what happens. When your reputation precedes you as an organization and a coach, as an owner, these things happen. So I don't blame anybody for kind of speculating in between. They left room for it. Like I said, the media, the news, whomever did their homework. He was arrested in Arizona on those charges. I think it was assault, damaging some property, some other things as well. It doesn't matter. But clearly, it was enough to get him terminated. We don't know the details of the incident. We have not gotten a full police report on that front. However, it was enough for the Panthers to be like, And so it makes a lot of sense now. It didn't make a lot of sense before, but it makes a lot of sense now. It makes a lot of sense now. You can't really mess around with that type of stuff. They probably did their research. He's a guy. He's an exec. He's not a player. Players, they stick beside players because players are commodities that if you can play, you can da-da-da-da. Unfortunately, that's just the way the business is. They look certain ways on certain instances with players more so than execs. When you're exec, nah, you fired. They feel like they can get somebody else in place. They're not even going to waste their time. And I don't blame them. One, it's their company policy. Two, they probably know more information about the incident than me. And three, you don't want to, it's not worth messing around. It's not worth messing around because if you keep him employed, people start asking, why is he still employed? Even if you want to say, we're still collecting information. And then the information comes out, you look trash. So I understand. Even if it is a quick trigger, you don't want to mess around with that. So I 100% understand why they made that move. Now, all that being said, there is a void at the VP of player personnel in the Panthers front office. Who will fill that position? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if they plan on promoting from within. I would expect them to promote from within. But even if they move everybody up the totem pole, there's still a spot available. Unless people are going to be pushing double duty, all hands on deck, quote unquote. There's going to be a void on the staff or the front office. So who gets that spot? I don't know. Now, shout out to my guy, Terry. He's not on this week. He was on last week. Shout out to my guy, Terry. He said that the Panthers should go ahead and hire Luke Kuechly to the VP of player personnel. Now, trust me. Let me put this out there. Full disclosure. Let me give you a little preamble of all this. I love Luke Kuechly. He's top. He's on that Mount Rushmore Panthers that we talked about for me a couple weeks ago. No question. The homer in me will argue with somebody on the street that he's the best linebacker of all time. That's just the homer in me and how much I like Luke Kuechly. No question. His intelligence on the field cannot be questioned. His ability to diagnose plays before it happened, call it out, put people in position. Just be a coach, an extension of the coach on the field with next level instincts and knowledge of the game. The dude went to Boston College. There's a reason why Boston College is not good at football because they have high standards for their academics. You can't be dummy and go to Boston College. Maybe now, with NIL and portals. They let anybody in. Who knows? I don't know. But you can't be no dummy and go to Boston College. I mean, no offense. I ain't going to call nobody no dummy. Everybody's in college. But Luke Kuechly ain't no dummy. His football acumen cannot be questioned. However, putting him as a VP of player personnel is a very, very high benchmark to put somebody with no experience at that position, as an executive at least. He did some scouting, obviously, with the Panthers for a little bit. It didn't work out. I guess Rule will run anybody off or whatever happened. I would love for him to join the coaching staff or even the front office in some capacity. But him to assume the VP of player personnel just seems like a little bit too big of a bite from the apple. Granted, we've seen stranger things have happened. John Lynch was a general manager with fairly no experience, if any, if I recall. Put somebody with him that he learn with and grow with. And look, they win in conference championships, haven't got a Super Bowl, but they've had a successful run between him and Kyle. So, but I just don't see Luke being ready for that type of position. I would love for them, like I said, if they promote and move everybody up, I would love for the void that's created to bring in Luke. I would love to. But I just don't know if he's ready for that VP spot. That's just me. Love the guy, though. Love him. Would love to meet him. Maybe he'll be at camp one day. I can holler at him. I don't know. But staying on Luke. So Luke, he is I don't know if it's a recurring spot or what it is. He's on there fairly often. But Luke Kuechly, he's on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams pretty regularly. Not like weekly or not even monthly, but like I'll say he's consistently on Kay Adams show. So we had about a 22-minute interview. A 22-minute interview with her yesterday on Monday's edition. I just love hearing Luke Kuechly talk football. Like, just going back to how much I just like hearing him talk football. He doesn't bring any like cutting edge, like new, like, you know what I'm saying? He's not like he's not like some wizard where he just like drops knowledge every time, but he's a very practical speaking guy. He knows the game clearly. He's a nice dude, so he tries to say stuff in as nice way as possible. But he's pretty straightforward. And I tweeted out, he had a little segment. He kept it real. Yeah, Kay loves some Luke. And I think it's just because Luke doesn't do many media ops. So the fact that she gets that opportunity with him, she loves having him on there. But she does that. She definitely loves her some Luke Kuechly. But I appreciate him getting a spot on her show as well. So shout out to Kay. I'm a big fan of Kay. She's cool. But he had a 22-minute interview. Very, very insightful. It was funny. They talked about the wedding. Christian McCaffrey's wedding with Greg Olsen was sweaty. They talked about his training camp memory. He talked about, his best memory of Cam. And he talked about the training camp fight with Josh and Cam and like how it all unfolded and stuff like that. But it was also asked about the team. He had some comments, and like I said, Luke, he's the radio, and I don't listen to Panthers radio during the game, full disclosure. So I don't know how he speaks there, but this is about as candid as I've heard him be in terms of like specific players and stuff on the team. And I thought he had some couple interesting comments. It was nothing like, he wasn't like dragging anybody or exposing anybody, but he had some names. So one of the things that he said was, they asked him, what do they want to see from, well, actually they asked about Bryce Young and him being a quiet leader. She said, it just seems weird that he won't be a vocal leader. The comments and the situation seem weird. And Luke was like, he needs to be himself. And this is kind of what I was saying before. I don't want him to be fake because people will read fake. The saying real, recognize real is not just a saying. I mean, it is a saying, but it means something. Real people recognize real people. Real recognize real. So it ain't about Bryce being vocal and rah, rah, rah and cussing people out, even though we've heard he's done that before in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? But it's not about that. It's about him being himself. And we've seen himself. We've seen him at Alabama being successful, being a leader, being a little rah-rah, but also being composed. But being himself. I think that Bryce Young not having success is hampering who he is. For better or for worse, I don't think he's comfortable with the lack of success that we've had. I don't feel like he's comfortable completely coming out of his shell. You know what I'm saying? Once they're winning. I don't think that. And I don't want to say he's a front runner, but you're not going to see him at an all-white party with Michael Rubin. You're not going to see him on Radio Row at the Super Bowl. Partially because that's not his personality, but I think the other part is, what sense does it make you doing all this when you haven't had success on the field? You need to be putting in that work. So I understand. And I do think that he may need to come out his shell a little bit and not have to wait for everything to go right to be who he is. But if he's laid back, a little bit more chill, and like they said, he has more of a personal relationship with everybody in the team to the point that he relates to them that way, there's different ways to lead. I don't want him not being who he is. Because then you get into the whole Russell Wilson thing. People start talking about Russell being fake, and they feeling like he's fake. I don't want that. I don't want that. Because when stuff's going bad and you being fake, that stuff gets old. You saw it got old and went sour in Denver at times. I don't want that. I want him to be himself. And so I thought that was logical. It made a lot of sense of what Luke was saying. Aaron said, I'm confused on the quiet leader from Luke and Clowney. He said, I saw that man Bryce talking to the line and the whole team multiple times. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, last year was frustrating. We saw him throwing the iPad. We saw him doing the Iguodala hand slap. You learn a lot about yourself when things ain't going right. I'll tell you that. But I think in due time. Everybody's not going to be Cam Newton. I think, like I've said it before, this is not an insult to Cam, but he's done irreparable damage to this fan base. And this is not even a slight to him. I think Cam normalized a lot of stuff that ain't normal. And he's done, like I said, the residual damage he's done, I think it's pretty heavy. A lot of stuff the way he went about certain things, who he was, how he played, the situation he was in, what he did for this team is not precedented. We probably won't ever see it again. Ever. In the league, in my opinion, let alone this franchise. An athletic freak, 6'5", 255 pounds, 4'5", 4'6" speed. In my opinion, the best dual threat quarterback of all time. He may give it to Lamar. I'm going to say to Cam. And it sounds like everybody else that's asked this question is saying probably Cam, just because of how he played. For better or for worse, had to carry the team with parts that weren't up to snuff and still tried to make it look presentable. It made it look presentable. Was able to cover up a lot of issues. Was comfortable with himself from the jump. He had to go through his growing pains too, where people talking about he needed to learn how to lose, and he pushed back. He said, show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser. He was comfortable with him being himself from the jump. I want to be an entertainer and icon. He was comfortable with himself from the jump in that aspect. Everybody not like that, man. That's rare. Literally one of one. Literally one of one. He said Cam was and is underappreciated. Still, I agree. I think, like I said, I think he's the best dual threat quarterback of all time. But he's just an all-time player. Not just because of his ability, just what he brought to the game. There will never be another Cam Newton. I don't think. I don't expect it. When we talk about generational, that he's a generational type of player. I'm very, very fortunate that I got to witness him being my favorite player on my favorite team. We're all fortunate. But it's just not the norm. Quarterbacks need a supporting cast. They're going to need help. The quarterback landscape has changed. I talked about this before. There's no more Brady's or Breeze or Mannings, even though Manning had good receivers, throwing to Stokely's or in New England, David Givens. In New England, David Givens or Troy Brown or New Orleans, throwing to Devery Henderson, a Lance Moore. Shout out to Marcus Colston, but a Marcus Colston. There aren't those type of quarterbacks that are going to elevate like that, except at least to get to like make household names out of guys, except Patrick Mahomes. And even Patrick Mahomes has top-notch tight end. The NFL is different. Quarterbacks need help. They need protection. They need weapons. And that's the type of situation Bryce is going to have to be in that. It's just a different approach. And like I said, Cam Newton, just what he was able to do for us, has done residual damage. People have that expectation for anybody that plays quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater has been the best quarterback we've had since Cam Newton retired. He was the first one after, had the toughest job in the world from this fan base. A lot of people in this fan base hated him just because of that. No fault of his own. Blame Matt Rule. Blame David Tepper. But Teddy Bridgewater has been the best quarterback we've had in that 1 year. He was the best. He's had the most productive quarterback play and consistent quarterback play, for better or for worse, since Cam Newton has retired. But he's not Cam. And he called flack for not being Cam. It's a tough job not being Cam. The same way Cam called flack for not being Brady, being that first guy after, it happens, bro. And the Patriots fans are gripping with the reality. I mean, we'll see what Drake May does. They're gripping with the reality that everybody in the NFL has to face. Generational talents aren't the norm. They're coming down to earth. They had 20-something years of being spoiled by generational quarterback play. They're coming back to earth. They're coming back to the trenches with the rest of those NFL fans. They're dealing with that. But that follow-up and that fall from grace from a generational franchise legend is tough, and it does damage. So I just think that we have to give some grace to Bryce Young as a leader, which is what I'm landing the plane at, because everybody's not going to be as comfortable with their role as Cam Newton. Granted, Cam Newton is the ultimate leader in general, so it just was him. I want to compare their ability to lead, because Cam Newton shown time and time again, even in college, whatever, that as a leader, it's almost unmatched. But that doesn't mean Bryce Young's style won't work of leadership. So let's get some grace on his leadership style. I'm fine. Samuel Smith, what up, though? Said we heard all last year Pat needed help on the receiving core. True. Why wouldn't Bryce needed to? Exactly. Because Pat, they led the league in drops. Could I imagine Prime Cam and CMC? Don't make me cry on this live stream, man. We should have had it. We should have had it. They robbed us. The NFL robbed us. But imagine DJ, CMC. We had a squad in 2018, bro. I just would like to see how 2018 would have played out. Is there a timeline where it plays out? I would have loved to see 2018 play out. I would have loved to see that year play out for us. But Luke Kuechly, also, he talked about Bryce's again. They asked what he wanted to see from Bryce. He said he wanted to see Bryce push the ball downfield more. Now, this has been a criticism for a lot of you guys in the comments saying that he has a noodle arm, that he can't throw deep. We don't throw deep because he can't. Some people say that we don't have the weapons. Some people say we don't have the time. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle, which is per usual of every NFL argument. But Luke, he said he wanted to see him push it down the field. He said playing in a 10 or 15-yard box makes it easy for them to cover. He said that they need to stretch the field just to be able to open up things underneath. I 100% agree. This is not rocket science. Who am I to disagree with Luke Kuechly anyway? But he's right. Bryce does need to push the ball down the field. Now, what needs to click in his brain? Does he need to be more confident in himself? Does he need to be more confident in the weapons? Does he need to be more confident in the protection that he'll have time to throw deep? I don't know. He missed some deep balls last year that he should have connected on. A lot of them didn't go. Some of them the chart. But something's got to give. We don't have to be some juggernaut, no risk and no biscuit, push the ball down the field team. But we do need to get, defenses can't be able to sit 10 to 12 yards, play man coverage, and know they're going to get to the quarterback and get away with it. Teams were doing that from preseason. The Detroit Lions, if you go back and look at that preseason game, their backups play physical man coverage in preseason. They're second and third string. And exposes. As soon as I saw that, you can go back to my post-game live, my post-preseason live stream. I was very, very weary after that. I was very, very weary. Because it was a struggle to move that ball against some backups. Running man coverage. Which, in my opinion, man coverage is hard to beat. But in the NFL, if you're playing man coverage consistently, you should get what you deserve. And the Saints do it. And they play a lot of physical coverage and they get away with some of the holding and stuff. We'll see it off the jump. I hope somebody does it this year because we're going to see it off the jump in New Orleans. So we're going to need Deontay. But that's another thing that Luke talked about. He talked about the addition of Deontay helping us push the ball down the field. The addition of Xavier Legette helping us push the ball down the field. Having to put Thielen in the middle instead of having to be that primary guy. Having adequate weapons should help push the ball down the field. But he said it. He wanted to see Bryce push it downfield more. And I think, like I said, it's not even if you connect. You have to try. Make them respect it. Because he talked about it opens up things. So at least make them respect it. If a tactical defensive guy like him is speaking, you need to listen. But he also said that they need protection. And he specifically called out Ike Ekwonu. He big up Hunt and Lewis. He big up Austin Corbett. He big up Taylor Moton. But he said we need, quote, we need more from Ike. We need more from Ike. We need more. want more. And they were that Michael Irvin motivational speech clip that be out there. We need more. And I agree. Icky, and I'm gonna make a training camp roster evaluation video as well. But I think I talked about him needing to step up last week. That's the one thing, man, I'm worried about on offense. I'm not worried about Corbett. I'm really not. Ike Ekwonu is making me a little nervous. I'm not going to cap. Ike could be that. He's such a key position. Such a key player. It could be the wrench. The monkey wrench into our plans. If he don't work out. So he got to work out. 2.7 or less, Ike. All I need. 2.7 or less. That's all I need. He also said that they needed more from Jonathan Mingo. Jonathan Mingo has been a highly discussed topic this offseason. Demetrius said, put him in, coach. He will. Say they need more from Mingo. Some people saying Mingo is fine. We need more from Bryce. We need Bryce to hit Mingo. Some people say Mingo he could be another TMJ. I put that out there. Lost in the fold, lost in the wash. But I think it's wise of them to have added to the receiver room, bring in competition. That way, anything Mingo shows is a bonus. You don't have to depend on him anymore. Last year, I think depending on him for so much was a lot of pressure that he wasn't ready for as a developmental prospect. But I think now, in a role where he's not expected much of, and anything he brings is a bonus, I would love to get something from Mingo this year. Do we need more? Yeah. I mean, do we need more? Nah. I mean, I want more. Definitely want more. Damn sure want more. Do we need more? Maybe not. Maybe not. But you guys get a video thumbs up if you have not given it a thumbs up. Appreciate you. We got one more topic. So, ESPN, in all their four-letter glory, shout out to Mickey Mouse. They released a list surveying. They didn't survey 100 people like Family Feud. They surveyed some people around the league, scouts, GMs, random people. Who knows? But they surveyed and asked who were the top 10 defensive tackles. Who were the top 10 defensive tackles in the NFL? So you figured Mingo wasn't going to be good off the rip. Dang. I had high hopes. I'm not going to lie to you. I had high hopes. But they released a list of the top 10 defensive tackles. And Carolina's own Derrick Brown made number 7. Very, very respectable ranking. Clearly the best guy on the team at this point. It's not even a debate. It's not even a debate at this point. He's the best player on the team. But a number 7 ranking as a number 7 defensive tackle, is he too low? Because I've always felt like Derrick Brown had been underrated. It started with our fan base. And now that he's finally getting respect from the fan base, it seems like across the league, because we suck. We suck, guys. We're not good. So you're going to automatically get disrespected when your team is not good. However, that doesn't mean we can't complain about it. That doesn't mean that we cannot complain and discuss and make a case that he should be higher or lower. Let me read what they had on Derrick. They said Brown was a Actually, he ranked number 7. His highest ranking, according to the survey, was number 2. That's crazy, actually. The lowest was number 10. Obviously, Aaron Donald is gone. So I think the bona fide best D tackle, I don't think it's arguable in my opinion, is Chris Jones. Chris Jones is the best. He's the best defensive tackle. He's one of my favorite players in the league. I don't know, man. Something about a disruptive force on the inside of a defensive line, it just makes the football fan in me smile. A pass rusher that's violent, the motor is just straight up nasty. Not to mention that Chris Jones could have easily been a Panther. We drafted Vernon Butler instead of Chris Jones. Just a little nugget for you guys if you want to get a little pissed off. We passed on Chris Jones. He went in the second round. Granted, he had some off the field concerns they were talking about. Nothing legit, I don't think. I think it was just his attitude or something or whatever. And I mean, granted, you kind of see it now. He's not nice. He's a mean guy. But he's the bona fide number 1. So to see Derrick Brown got number 2 votes, that's crazy. That's very crazy. However, let's read what they said about Derrick. It said Brown was a menace in the middle of the Panthers, leading the league with a 47% run-stop win rate. While the sack production isn't there, because Brown has 8 sacks in his 4 years, the disruption very much is. Carolina decided to build the defense around him instead of pass rusher Brian Burns, who was traded to the Giants. Quote, "You feel him more than you see the sack numbers," a veteran NFL scout said of Brown. "When you play him and watch him, he's really good. Wouldn't surprise me if he has more sacks in the future. Carolina is always losing in games, so teams don't throw the ball as much on them late." Dang. Dang. Carolina is always losing in games. So teams don't throw the ball as much on them late. Tragic. 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 That's not wrong. That is not wrong. I can't argue. It's just tragic because it's right. It's tragic because it's right. We're not winning in a lot of games. Shoot, even the games we won was what? Last minute field goal wins. So we weren't leading. We weren't leading before up until then. I don't think we led 1 minute of that Texans game. I don't think we had a lead at all. So the sentiments are there. Yeah, painful sentiment about us, but not wrong. Not wrong, guys. We're not good. Until we are good, there'll be more opportunities for Derrick to get more sacks then. I'll say that. Dylan, what up, though? What's good, Doug? What up? Dorothy, what up, though? Yeah, and I agree, though. The numbers will get up. Because, like, going to ESPN, his pass rush win rate, he was 20th in the NFL. 20th in the NFL in pass rush win rate. Number 1 and run stop win rate. So he's on both lists. He's ranked in both lists. But like you said, there's not a lot of opportunities to rush when the Panthers have a lead. When they have a lead, you can pin your ears back, do your moves. He still gets his pressures. He still pushes the pocket. These aren't numbers that are going to show up on the stat sheet all the time. pressures do because they count that stuff now. But flushing him out of the pocket, that's a pressure. But keeping the pocket steady so the quarterback can't step up. And so another guy may get a sack around the edge. Those type of things don't show up. He does the dirty work. But I know sacks are sexy. So he will not get the full respect he deserves until then. However, let's look at the people ahead of him. The next man up is Christian Wilkins. Now, Christian Wilkins, I don't want to offend any Clemson fans on this podcast, but if I do, oh well. Christian Wilkins, ranked number 6. It said the one thing holding Wilkins back had been his sack production. He didn't have it through his first 4 years. The Dolphins didn't pay him. So he flipped the script, got 9 sacks, and got a contract for $110 million. Gives you a little bit of everything, just solid all-around player. Might be a notch below the top guys as far as high-end traits, but he really turned a corner over the last year and a half as a rusher. His 30 pressures in 2023 ranked 3rd amongst interior rushers. The fact that he faced 218 double teams was the 4th most. Underrated athlete who's technically sound. He'll be worth the investment for the Raiders. This doesn't sound like, to me, if you have a dominant force, and I think Derrick Brown is, if not the best defensive run stop and defensive tackle according to the run stop win rate, he's just unblockable when he's singled up. And I understand Christian Wilkins gets double teamed a little bit more, but I would rather have somebody that's dominant at one trait and all right at the next one, and then just a solid all-around guy. I mean, not knocking Christian Wilkins, good player. But I'm just talking in terms of a ranking. If I have a guy like Derrick Brown that's legit dominant in one facet of the game, I feel like that would warrant being a little bit above the next guy. That's just me. And like I said, sacks are sexy. He had more sacks this past year than Derrick Brown has had in his career. Fair enough. But I would want a dominant run defender. I don't see Christian Wilkins on the top 10 run stop win rate. I don't. But, hey, it's not my list. But I'm just going off of ESPN's run stop win rate list to compare it. Just saying. Now, Justin Madubuike, he put up the numbers. He was a rotational complimentary guy. I like Madubuike's game. He's very, very disruptive. I'm not familiar with his game enough to be able to put one or the other. I am familiar with Christian Wilkins' game, but I like DB. Now, Jeffrey Simmons, I love Jeffrey Simmons' game. He deserves where he's at. Dexter Lawrence, number 3, he is huge. Based off what we saw him do to Bradley Bozeman last year, we're gonna need some reinforcements on the interior for Austin Corbett. We got some big guys on the inside, so it's gonna be a team effort when we go to Germany. But yeah. Number 2, Quentin Williams, no argument there. Number 1, Chris Bone-Jones. Now, who didn't make the top 10 that I think should, and shout out to the rest of the guys that made it, Jonathan Allen. And I understand he had a down year last year, but Jonathan Allen is a monster. I don't know how familiar you guys are with the Commanders. And I only come across these guys when I'm watching other teams film who play the Panthers or when the Panthers play these guys. And I remember from preseason a couple years ago how disruptive and violent he is. Like violent hands, a nonstop motor, just absolutely nasty. Like there's a level of physicality that kind of everybody plays with in the NFL, but there are certain guys that are relentless. When they say relentless, it's not just like an adjective or something used to describe these guys. Relentless means like they do not let up. There's just a certain level of physical that they bring. Aaron Donald is one of them type of guys. Chris Jones is one of those type of guys. Jonathan Allen is one of them type of dudes. Some guys are strong at the point of attack. They can get off blocks. They can split double teams. But they're just some guys that they're just relentless. They're impossible to block because they refuse to be blocked. They get offended when you try to block those dudes. That's those type of dudes that's the type of dude Chris Jones, and it is. It is. Quentin Williams, he's kind of on that line there. I think a lot of it has to do with his talent and ability. It's how he wins. First step quickness, strength, and stuff like that. He obviously is relentless as well, but it's just a certain level of physicality and violence that these other guys play with that I think is just separates them. Some guys have the streaks. They have nasty streaks where they'll do it. We've seen Derrick do it at times. But it's not every play. I'm not saying he takes plays off. He's just not relentless. Relentless, there's a less on the end. I don't even know what relent means. I've never seen relent by itself. Relent means to become less severe, harsh, or strict. Or to give in. So when you're relentless, you never give in. Never give up. They don't quit. Oppressively constant. Incessant. Harsh or inflexible. Yeah, that perfectly describes the guys that I'm talking about when I say relentless. Oppressively constant. They don't stop, man. So, like I said, Derrick, he just has to do that every level. I mean, every game. Every play, excuse me. The sacks will come. I still think that he's too low. I would give him 5 or 6, to be honest. I think a comparable year against the run with 5 sacks on the season, he'll easily crack top 5, in my opinion. But in the Agiro system, the way he aligns, it's going to be hard to block him with double teams and stuff. They put him in a position where it's almost impossible to double team him. And then he's one-on-one with the tackle. He's too big and too strong and physical for tackles. But I don't know. But that's all I got today, man. Right at an hour, so I'm feeling good. I got to go finish cooking dinner. I cooked a little bit of dinner before this. That's why I was a little late. I rushed off work. Had to get the dinner together for the wife and baby girl Dunk. But like I said, stay tuned. 2 growls, 1 roar. I'm on there tomorrow. It will not be released tomorrow, but we're recording tomorrow. It will be released later this week. I'm still editing one of my videos. There's a new type of video that I'm working on. Very, very different from me. But I'll be editing it down in between the time that I have time. But I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I got to get up off here. Y'all stay up, stay blessed. Get your training camp tickets. I better see y'all there. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Don't meet me at training camp, beat me at training camp. All right? Holla at y'all. Peace. Love y'all.